Click the link in the description for your free Amsoil catalog. Before we get started, I'd like to give a quick shout out to some of our friends. The Eastern Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame. Search for them on Facebook. Central Minnesota Pond Racing, some of the best vintage snowmobile racing in the Midwest. Crane's Snowmobile Museum, 172 Main Street in Lancaster, New Hampshire. The Vintage Snowmobile Club of America Quarterly Magazine. The New Hampshire Snowmobile Museum at Bear Brook State Park in Allenstown, New Hampshire. The Benedeem YouTube channel, some of the best vintage snowmobile videos on YouTube. Ben's Vintage Mini Bike Podcast, the second Sunday of every month at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. The Muscle Car Show and Tell Podcast, every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Second Chance Upholstery and Automotive, custom snowmobile and automotive upholstery in Derby, Vermont. I am your independent Amsoil dealer. Click the link in the description for your free Amsoil catalog. Lastly, if you decide to advertise with the Vintage Snowmobile Podcast, this could be part of your advertising message. Well, good evening and welcome to the podcast. I'm really glad you're here. Now, I have a robust lineup of vintage snowmobile entertainment on tap for you tonight. But before we get into all of that, I want to make sure that everything is working properly. So if you can see my face and hear my voice, I'm going to ask you to leave a comment. Please let me know where you're viewing this from and whether you are, whether you are a first-time viewer or a regular viewer. Now, to our first-time viewers, if this is your first time viewing the podcast tonight, I hope you have a good time with us tonight, and I hope you decide to join us here each and every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, this podcast simulcasts to 8 different places across Facebook and YouTube. So wherever you're viewing this right now, just circle back in 1 week's time, and we'll be waiting for you with another fun-filled episode. Now, to our regular viewers who are here week after week, month after month, and season after season, you are the ones who make this possible, and we really, really appreciate that. So let's take a few quick comments, and then we'll bring our friends on, and we will get this party started. Here we go. We have our good friend Ben from Vintage Mini Bike Lovers. He's in the house saying good evening, coming in loud and clear from Carterville, New York. Looking forward to a great episode. I've got to give him a shout out because he and Rob and I collaborate on the Vintage Mini Bike Podcast that airs the second Sunday of every month at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you do enjoy those vintage mini bikes from the 60s and 70s, that is the podcast for you. It airs on this channel as well as a number of others. Just if you can't find it, do a YouTube search for it and it will come up. Also, Charles and Leanne, possible snow in Minnesota this weekend. Hooray. Good for you. I hope you get some enough to maybe even do a little yard riding with any luck at all. Our good friend and regular viewer, Rich Shad, is here saying good evening, everyone. Loud and clear in Cleveland, New York. You know, I've been messaging back and forth. He's got some really cool stuff he'd like to show us. We don't have anything scheduled yet, but we're talking about it. And sometime in the not too distant future, we'll bring him on. We've got some really cool stuff to look at. Mad Dog is here from Wisconsin saying good evening, loud and clear, coming in loud and clear. Glad to hear that. Our good friend Jim Holbrook from Thetford Center, Vermont is here, regular viewer. Appreciate that and good to see you. Our good friend Mike Whiteside, one of our most regular viewers and one of our dear friends, saying good evening, everyone. He's got Hank the Wonder Lab with him. Cool deal. Nice to see you. And then we've got Stacy and Art Fosler, regular viewers from the very beginning. Platkill, New York. They're in the house. Excellent to see you. Kenneth Crozier is here, Warwick, New York. Great to see you. Appreciate your viewing. D. Landsberg, watching from the Sawtooth Mountains of Idaho. Outstanding. Almost a foot of snow above 8,000 feet. Let me know if you're doing any riding out there. And if you ride, do you do the vintage stuff? Do you do trail ride? Do you do the mountain sleds with the long tracks and all that? Love to hear what you do out there. Kevin Culhane says, loud and clear, Sudbury, Ontario. Great to see you. Jeffrey Kuntz is here. All good. Out of Gerald, Saskatchewan. Snowing hard right now in Saskatchewan. Cool deal. Let's see. Ned Ply is here, coming in fine. Albany County, New York. on the Benedeem YouTube channel. And we're going to be talking about the Benedeem YouTube channel tonight. We've got the creator of that channel here. Ivan Mayo says, loud and clear from Sudbury, Ontario, regular viewer. Just 2 more comments here. We'll get started. Jeff Wesner, Pitt in the house. Nice to see you. And we've got plans to do some things with Jeff later in the season as well. He's an excellent friend and collaborator of this podcast. Josh Leverker, also an excellent friend and collaborator with this podcast. Good evening from Turin, New York. Excellent. Cool deal. Good to see so many good friends on here. Let's bring our friends on, and we will, as promised, get this party started. Gentlemen, how are we doing?
Great, Mike.
Doing good, Mike.
Good deal. Good deal. So our guest of honor tonight is our good friend, Eric Benedetto. And Eric does the Benedeem YouTube channel, some of the best vintage snowmobile videos on the internet and social media. He does an excellent job. Pardon me. And if you're curious about his channel, just get on YouTube, search for Benedeem. That his channel, he and I collaborate quite a bit. His channel, how do I say this? We simulcast this podcast out to his channel. That's one of the 8 places that we simulcast to. So without further ado, Eric, give you the floor here, and please tell us about your channel and how you come to be here tonight.
Well, thank you, Mike. I appreciate the invitation to be on. As always, it's a good time. It's awesome to hear that there's already reports of snow. I'm not going to make any predictions for this winter because last winter I turned out to be dead accurate, and it got pretty busy, especially in February around here with snow. So I'm going to keep my mouth shut on that. But so my channel started because we were getting into the vintage snowmobiles, and I wanted to kind of document, what we were doing with the riding, because that's what we're all about. Me and my dad and some of our friends, we like to ride the vintage snowmobiles, and we want to trail ride them. The same trails that we ride our modern sleds. We want to take the vintage sleds. So that's kind of how I got started. And then I was going to the shows, and I brought the GoPro and just started videoing walk around, and they seemed to be pretty popular and people enjoyed them. So I just it's tradition now at this point. If I go to a show, I just, do a walk around video, and it's just growing from there.
Nice. It sounds like we have that in common, because I know of the shows I go to in Northern Vermont and New Hampshire, I'm kind of known as the quote unquote video guy. And you probably have that same reputation in your neck of the woods. Yeah,
I hear it a lot. Oh, the videographer's here. Get out of his way. He's got to do his walk around. So,
nice.
I have one GoPro that I use mainly. There's a second GoPro that I started with that I don't use as much. And then I've been slowly trying to add some drone, features as well, because that just adds a whole other perspective to everything. And my goal with the drone, or the idea that I had, was to kind of use it as like a floating tripod for when we're riding, so we can kind of get a bird's eye view of, the sleds, riding around mainly, at our personal trails. But that's the one downside of being the video guy, is you don't really get to see yourself as much. I don't get to see me riding the sleds as much because I'm filming everybody else. Or you're watching, a first person view because I got the GoPro on my helmet. So I'm hoping with the drone to get some different perspectives.
Nice. Yeah, it's amazing what you can do with those drones as far as angles and great shots and everything.
Oh, just the quality of the cameras. It's unreal. And, they're only, mine's, it's under 250 grams, just so I can avoid some of the regulations. And I mean, it's just insane what they pack into these things and just how light they are. And they're fast. They're precise. They're just, it's incredible.
Sure. Now I'm going to pop the graphic for your channel on the screen. And then when I unpop it, I'm going to ask Midge and Rob if they have any comments or questions for you before we take a look at one of your video clips.
I do.
Good.
Some of my friends have drones that follows their snowmobile. So they have a device on their snowmobile and the drone's in front of them, but the drone can't predict a tree or a branch. Is there a better one out there now?
So my drone is a DJI brand, and actually there's some legislation that's happening, so I don't even think you can get those in the U.S. anymore. But they do have the same. It's a mini 4K, they have others in that mini lineup where it will follow, a target, and it does have obstacle avoidance.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's actually pretty precise, aside from a rogue like tree branch that it can't detect or something like that, but it'll follow, and some of them will follow up to 20-30 miles an hour.
Well, how
That's
big
impressive.
is it, Eric? The one you
Oh,
use?
it's you can, when it's folded up, you can stick it in your pocket. It's not that big at all.
Really
Isn't
compact.
that incredible?
Yeah, they go from small like that, and they go up from there. It's like I said, the 250 grams, that's the magic number for like avoiding a lot of the regulations. But even still, there's a lot of regulations. But yeah,
I thought you were talking price.
no. Yep. So I actually crashed it, and I busted the outer shell. And on the surface, they seem like they're pretty durable, but not when you crash into a tree. But then just trying to work with this thing, I mean, there's nothing to this. This thing is super flimsy and light.
Wow.
But it's all in the name of getting it below that target weight.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
Wow. Well, I've got a video clip here from your YouTube channel where you did some coverage of the Big East show not too long ago. So I'm going to roll that clip, and then on the other side, we'll see if you have any comments to add to it, and we'll get reactions from Midge and Rob as well. Let's roll that beautiful bean footage.
welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm here in Elbridge, New York, at the golf course. Small little show. Just having a good time as always. Gonna do a little walkthrough for you guys so you can see what sleds are here. I think compared to last year, the turnout's not as good. I think the weather kind of scared people away. It's a little cold. It's supposed to get colder, but let's check out the sleds.
have it. We've been looking at a video clip from the Benedeem YouTube channel, and the creator of that channel is at the top of the screen here in the upper left, and that's Eric. Eric, any comments on this?
Yeah, so I mentioned in the beginning there, though, I think the weather kind of scared people away. The forecast was kind of iffy, and it was cold and windy that day. So I think there was about half as many sleds as the previous year, but there was a lot of nice sleds still.
Yeah.
I mean, few that stood out to me right in the very beginning, there was that Arctic Turf Tiger, which I had never heard about before, but, it's just an Arctic set up for grass racing. And then towards the end there, you saw that little Eland Blizzard, which is just a neat sled and pretty rare too.
Mm-hmm.
And the Safari right next to it, that actually belongs to my friend's son, and it was just in his trailer, so he brought it. But earlier on in the year, that was at a show, and he actually let me ride it, and that is a fun sled to ride.
Yeah,
it truly is.
Nice. And Midge, reactions to this?
I love the little Eland Blizzard there. Bob Fortin done a lot of winning on a sled like that. He raced in the 295 and the 340 class with it, because back then those 3-cylinder Blizzard engines, they had jugs on them that big, for cooling, and they got a lot of horsepower out of those little singles. And I remember him sometimes being a half a lap ahead of the rest of them with that little Eland, because he was over. So I think he was like 6'2", something like that. He could hang that body his off the left-hand side of that sled going around the corners. It was amazing to watch them things.
That's amazing. Like a human outrigger.
Takes me back.
Yes.
Yeah, that's actually technically his granddaughter's sled. She kind of had her hands on the restoration project, which is pretty cool.
Nice. And Rob?
There was a couple little mini motors keys, and one couldn't have been factory, not with the way the hood looked different and had a caboose behind it. Yeah, there's the caboose for it.
Yeah, I was wondering that too.
And I don't remember a mini motor ski with a seat like that, but it does look pretty cool on it.
Yeah.
Right there, yes.
Yeah. I've seen lots of the white ones.
Isn't there one like that at Cranes, or am I thinking of?
I think Paul has the white cab model.
Okay.
Yeah, the white ones are popular.
Yeah. And maybe it's the same sled, but somebody painted the cab orange.
Yeah.
Well, the seat's not back in those days. That's a modern seat, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like a cross-country seat or something.
Yeah, I remember last week we talked about a snowmobile that had the blue hood on. There was two of them there. Something ski they were called. Did Bombardier supply that company with their parts and they just painted the hood blue? Because this sure looks like a Bombardier.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because Bombardier bought
right there.
Motor ski, and they basically took a Skidoo and painted motor ski on it, and painted them orange, and then they dropped
Riverside. That's a Riverside. That's what it is.
Riverside,
but it looks like Bombardier supplied them with all the parts, and they bought their own paint and painted the hood.
It looks pretty familiar.
No.
They also did a twin track too, like a skid steer Caribou.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Yeah, those aren't related. That's different.
That's something different.
Yeah, but those are pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, and I was wondering about this. I know there's a picture of someone and a paper there. Is there a story behind this RV?
I couldn't tell you, to be honest with you. Those RVs are nice sleds, and I know they're popular. Yeah. They don't really catch my eye. I just see them all the time at the shows, and
sure,
it's just not my wheelhouse.
Sure, I'm wondering.
It looks like it listed names on that sheet as if that person maybe beat everybody on that sheet or something.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe it's a tribute to a racer or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, cool. And then I had a few John Deeres there. Someone was commenting on the John Deeres.
Oh, beautiful sleds.
Yeah.
Nothing runs like a deer. And I like the beginning of your video. That's a neat little setup.
Yeah.
There's an excellent intro there.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, so this year, like, especially, I've been trying to do like intros where I talk, and it's been hard for me because that was the one, I was shy in front of the cameras, but being on the camera in public has been another hurdle to get over because, I just, before I got into this, I'm just like kind of laughing at people doing that. It's like, why are you videoing yourself? But, now here I am doing it, and, I just got to get over it, and I've been getting better.
Totally understand. Yeah, because when I'm at shows too, I'll usually walk around, and I'm usually behind the camera, but I'm talking most of the time, running commentary, and people will look at me funny, and it's like, well, that's what I do. The worst things that someone could do,
Yeah, but people, like you said earlier, people kind of just expect it now because they know who I am.
Nice.
So,
it's true.
Somebody
People come
wrote
to
at the
expect
bottom
that
of the
from
screen, Mike, that caribou was made in Switzerland.
Yeah.
Oh, let me find. Yes, Rich Shad.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. He actually, that gentleman, Troy, he actually just picked up another one of those too.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Sounds like there's a story there. So if you're just joining us, we're here with our guest tonight, Eric Benedetto. He does the Benedeem YouTube channel, and we are just getting started. We looked at a clip from his channel, and I highly encourage you, if you like what you're seeing, please patronize his channel. He does an excellent job over there. We're going to be looking at more clips, but before we do, we've got to do announcements, and we've got something after that. So, Rob, if you're ready, I'm going to put you full screen, and Rob is going to talk to us about AMSOIL.
A number of times we talked about, that looks better, the Interceptor oil, the Dominator oil, the 100-to-1. I think last week or week before we talked about the chain case oil, how important it is. And you know what? All greases are not the same. There's so many different grades of greases out there, and it never says on there. It might says it's a 2 or a 1, but that's just a pour point. But AMSOIL synthetic grease, it doesn't matter if it's a 1 or 2, it still pumps out the gut at 40 below. Do you know 40 below Celsius, same as 40 below Fahrenheit? I've been out snowmobiling in weather like that. It is cold, but it's a water-resistant grease. I have a lot of companies with backhoes and stuff like that like to use it. They pay their guys a half an hour early to grease their equipment and then pay them lunch hour. They switch over to AMSOIL, they only have to grease once a week. The film strength of this oil is so much stronger. It's great for wheel bearings, great for recreation vehicles, great for places where water and everything is. If you want a better quality grease, look at the AMSOIL grease. Look up our data sheet. Tells you in there the pour point, flash points, and everything got it. If you want a better grease, you look that up. If you want a catalog, tell you about all the AMSOIL products we have available. I'll add one here. You can click on Mike's site, and he'll send you a free catalog. Tells you a little bit about all the products we have available. And if you want to know how to get the best possible buy from AMSOIL, sign up as a preferred customer. You save 25%. You order $100 worth, you get free shipping right to your house. But this next week, if you order $100, they're going to send you a free bottle of PI. It's a gasoline cleaner. It cleans the solvents in the gas tank, the lines, the injectors, top of the pistons. Even makes your catalytic converter last longer by cleaning it out. It's not it works great. A lot of my customers, every 5,000 miles, they put one in because as soon as they take off from the stop sign, they know there's a hesitation. Time to put PI in because our gas is not as good as it used to be. So to make it last longer, try something different. So for more information, you can click on Mike's site, and Mike can hook you up on how to get the catalog or how to become a preferred customer and save 25% on all the products you want to order.
Absolutely. Yeah, we thank you for that, Rob. And AMSOIL is how we pay the bills for this podcast. In the interest of full disclosure, I'm signed up as a dealer, an AMSOIL dealer under Rob. So when you order using my referral number, Rob and I both benefit, and that's how we're paying the bills here at the podcast. So we thank the people who have been doing that. And if you're considering that, we thank you in advance for using my link in the description and my referral number, which you'll see in the description. And like he said, link for a free catalog as well.
Anybody orders 2 cases this week, I'll send them a free sweatshirt.
Yes. Yeah, and just send an email to me so I know that's the case, and then Rob will send that out to you.
Yeah, if they sign up under Mike. Yeah.
Yes, and we thank you for doing that, Rob.
Yeah.
So let's continue the podcast here. We're going to do something here in a second, but before we do, I have to make a quick announcement of my own. Next week is going to be our 100th episode, and it's going to be a special jam-packed episode. We're going to go well into the second hour. People have been messaging me with clips. Hey, can you play this clip? This is my favorite thing from 3 years ago. They're getting all kinds of messages, and I've been able to gather just about everything people have been asking for, as well as a few of my own favorite clips, plus some favorite clips that Rob asked me about and Midge asked me about. So we've got a jam-packed episode next week you do not want to miss. So do look forward to that, our 100th episode. If I could bake a cake and share it with all the viewers, give everyone a slice, if it were possible to do that, I would do it. And if they come up with that technology in the next week, we're going to be doing it. So let's take a quick comment, and then Midge is going to talk to us about our next video clip. Here we go. Ben from the Vintage Mini Bike Lovers podcast, who incidentally is Eric's father. He says, believe that caribou belonged to his grandfather originally. Cool deal. Cool deal. So Midge is the founder of the Eastern Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame. And not last month, September, we had our 9th annual induction ceremony. Do you want to tell us about this clip we're about to look at, Midge?
Yeah, because the late Bruce Beaurivage is the person that was able to get the great Tim Bender on board to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, the Eastern Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame. He's in the Midwest Hall of Fame out in St. Germain, Wisconsin. And he really was one of the top riders of the sport for many years back in the 90s and stuff. And we were lucky to get him on board, get him in our Hall of Fame out here, because he is from New York. And it was Bruce Beaurivage that helped make it happen. And Tim came out for the induction, and he's a heck of a nice guy.
For sure.
And,
I have to give Rob a big thank you, because Rob knows him, and he arranged for me to do a phone interview with Tim Bender a few years ago, which was great fun. It was great to meet Tim. So that was cool. So we're going to play this induction. We're going to play the point where Tim is being inducted into the Eastern Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame. Let's take a look at that.
And what we're going to do is have some of his relatives come up, and himself. Is Tim? Sorry.
My wife, Kathy.
I didn't expect to do this. Okay. Tim Bender. Tim was 16 years old, a high school junior, when he competed in his first Eastern Division snowmobile race in 1974 in Weedsport, New York. He competed on a model sled SR 292. He did not have a good finish. Tim and his brother started competing competitively in 1975. They raced every Thursday night in Weedsport, New York. Tim bought a 1974 Yamaha GPX from his father. It was his dad's trail sled. Tim's senior year of high school with his brother raced every race they were able to go to. Tim raced a 440 and his brother raced a 340, so they did not compete against each other. Tim raced that year in New York, New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, Ontario, and every Thursday night in Weedsport. With Tim's brother and good friends helping with racing, they traveled to many races, sleeping in the box van at night and needing to do well, so they would have do well racing, for they had gas money to go home. When Tim started to win races, he was able to attract attention of some great sponsors: Daly Brothers Yamaha, snowmobile dealer Brockport Lawn and Garden, and Dynotech. Tim's winnings in 1978, he won the Snow Pro race at Bangor, Maine, the Adirondack Cup 2 times in Lowville, New York, the Kawartha Cup in Ontario, and in 1986 was Eganville champion Formula 3 for the Bonacure? How do you say that? Bonjura Cup. In 1988 was World Series champion in Eganville Formula 3. In 1979, Tim moved to Kenosha, Wisconsin to work for AN Performance Parts Building Sleds. Tim met Olaf AN at Weedsport, New York, when Herb Yancey beat Tim by inches. and asked Tim if he wanted to use his studs, and Tim used them the next year. Tim continued winning races, the Budweiser Silver Dome 1982 Snow Cross Classic, the 1984 Pro Monroe Cup Snow Cross Champ in Owen Sound, Ontario. In 1988, the Maine Challenge Open Class Eagle 4-time consecutive champion. In 1992, the Great Lakes International World Champion, Michigan. In 1984 and 1985, Tim built 50 signature sleds for Yamaha, including the SRV Phaser Wide Body and the Bender SX and the Bender Outlaw Terminator and Avalanche. Yes. Okay, here's Tim.
I guess that pretty much covers everybody there. She's already got it. I'd just like to thank the Paul Crane and the Eastern Hall of Fame and the board of directors for giving me this honor. And thank all the Yamaha Motor Corporation and Polaris which I raced for Yamaha for 25 years. And 23 working at Polaris, running a race team and doing depending on developments on the sled, snowcross race sleds. I'd like to thank my sponsors over the years, Woody's, Rocks, SLP, Benedeem Brothers. And also I'd like to thank my brother Bob for teaching me the metal fabrication skills that I needed to build the sleds and do the racing that we did. And I thank my parents for instilling the work ethic in me that I need every day to get up and go to work and do the best you can do it and just do it again the next day, the next day, the next day. So I'd like to thank the Eastern racers like Herb Yancey and Wayne Nicholson, name a few, helping push me to be more competitive in the Eastern circuit. So when I got to the national circuit, I was competitive already. I cut my teeth in racing on Thursday nights at Weedsport on Thursday nights after school. On Thursday night, my brother Bob and I would head down to Weedsport and we would race on Thursday night and then drive back to Orchard Park and go to school on Friday, and then drive wherever the Eastern race was later that year. The World Series of Racing in 1977 was at the USA at Weedsport, and the World Series, and Herb Yancey and I had a race at 440 mod class. We were side by side the whole entire race. Herb ended up beating me by an inch. The good news is that Old asked me, and saw me racing there, and asked me to come out and run his snowboard sleds and the snowboard team. Both not only taught me how to improve my racecraft, but also to think outside the box. This led to ways of thinking, designing, building many innovative parts of Phaser and SX and the Outlaw and Terminator and Avalanche. Yamaha Factory, Ben Racing came, Yamaha Factory's aftermarket performance parts company, and one of my biggest accomplishments was four Formula 3 races in a row at Eagle River. One of those races, I think it was 1989, Wayne Nicholson's going to be up there in a minute, was I were side by side in that race. He'd go by me on every straightaway, and I passed him in every corner. And he had no brakes on the sled. He would have beat me probably. And he was flying by me going to the corner 10 miles an hour faster than I was going. And I passed him back in the corner. But anyway, I'd like to thank Wayne. And Wayne felt as good for me as he would have been one himself. He's such a good guy. Also, I'd like to thank my wife and children. My wife of 43 years, who was by my side supporting my whole career. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Midge.
Yeah. Doesn't get any better than that.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, a true legend for sure.
Legend. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
One of the top
he
Eastern
made those
racers.
VMAX Yamahas go cross, snowcross, oval, you name it. He's the guy that made it happen. And yeah.
Now, Rob, did you ever go ahead? Go ahead,
years,
Midge.
you know.
He helped me out at oval racing back in 1979. He would show up in a van, and I was running an SRX, and he would race Friday night against the pros. He was the only factory team that wasn't a pro, and he'd be out there, and he'd be in the top running. And then on Saturday and Sunday, he'd race against us. We didn't have a chance. But he's the one that came over, and he's the one that introduced me to Amsoil. He's the one that came over and said, hey, forget your Yami, Luke, try this. And he helped me out so much at racing. And then I remember watching a NASCAR Infinity race, and Bobby Unser was the announcer. And Bobby Unser said, I don't know why there's a Yamaha snowmobile trailer in the pits here, and he had to go down. He had to interview him, eh? He started racing stock cars at one time, too. And then he also built a special sprint car for local tracks. He had his own sprint car series.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the last time I personally talked to him, he was the head mechanic for a Polaris snowcross race team.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And his son was racing on the team then.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
And Eric, any reactions to this, or?
So I'm just not that familiar with a lot of the racing stuff because it was 30 years before me, but 20 years before me. If someone ever invents a time machine, the first thing I'm going to do is grab my GoPro and go back and get all of that on camera because all those guys were hardcore. I ride these sleds for fun, and they're just doing all sorts of crazy stuff with them, and it's just intense to think about.
Yeah.
Do you want some coverage of the old Wide World of Sports? Wide World of Sports used to cover the big snowmobile races.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they used to cover Eagle River.
Yeah, you used to cover Velcourt, Quebec, and the Peterborough 4th Cup.
Yeah. And Eric, if you ever figure out how to travel back in time and get that footage, we want you to come here on the podcast, and we'll break it here. We'll break the footage here. For sure. Oh, and one last thing. I was messaging earlier with Tim. Hopefully he's watching tonight. Tim, if you are watching, please leave a comment or two in the comment section. We'd love to know that you're here with us tonight. We've got a couple of quick comments. We're talking about the wide body phasers. Yes. Cool deal. Yeah, we appreciate that.
Phaser. That's what I was trying to think of. Not the VMAX, the phaser.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the legend, Tim Bender.
Yeah.
You saw it here, folks. One more comment, and we're going to keep going here. Ben from Vintage Mini Bike Lovers says that is a lot of fun to watch some of the old races, and you can find many on YouTube. Yes. Yeah. And then Joe Zenard is here. Nice to see you, Joe. He says the 70s and early 80s were amazing race years. Yes.
There were so many different factory teams back in those days. Yeah, Villeneuve and all that were with their Alouettes, and then they came out with Ski Roll, and
For sure. So we're going to get back into it here with Eric. Eric, if you're just joining us, is the founder and creator and chief cook and bottle washer at the Benedeem YouTube channel. One of he does some of the best vintage snowmobile videos on social media, and he's our guest tonight. And we're playing clips from his YouTube channel. So if you like what you're seeing tonight, be sure to patronize his channel. All you have to do is search for Benedeem on YouTube, and you're going to see his graphic here in just a minute. This is some footage he got at the Thousand Islands Rally earlier this year. Let's take a look, and then we'll all talk about it on the other side.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's been a while since I've been at a show. It's been a while since I've uploaded a video here at Clayton, New York at the annual show. It's a little rainy, but that hasn't stopped people from coming out. There's about 60 sleds here. So please sit back and enjoy the show. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you're new to the channel and like to see, please subscribe to my channel. And as always, like the video and comment. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you and enjoy.
Yeah, we've been looking at footage from the Benedeem YouTube channel, and the creator of that channel is our guest tonight at the top of the screen in the upper left corner there. Any comments about what we've been looking at here, Eric?
Yeah, so it's funny you mentioned the twin track caribou. There was one at that show.
Yes.
For sale. But that show, the weather, oh my God, it was miserable. It was pouring rain. I managed to catch a little break in the act, rain to film this video, but I wouldn't go to a show if it was raining that bad, but me and my fiance had reservations at the hotel up there in Clayton. It's kind of our annual tradition, so we were already kind of committed to going, but I couldn't believe there was as many sleds as there was.
Yeah, that's a good turnout, especially with the weather.
Yeah, there was a lot of neat stuff there. This gentleman here with the Raiders and this I don't know, cool go-kart thing, that John Deere tractor in the back, he has let's call it an apparatus on the front of it that runs off the tractor hydraulics. He can go behind his Raiders, lift them up, and push them in and out of the trailer.
Nice.
That's
a back saver.
I think he has more fun doing that than he does anything to do with the snowmobiles, because he's whipped around with that old tractor.
That's cool. That's a back saver doing that.
Yeah.
So what is that little yellow one there?
I'm not sure.
Is that just a toboggan, or is it a snowmobile?
I don't know, but I like that leaf spring going the opposite direction.
I don't know.
Because I wonder if it's the same one I saw at the old Ford show in 2022. Because I remember seeing one like that. It's
looks
distinctive
like a snow pony.
Maybe ski lark. I think.
Looks smaller than a snow pony.
I think it's a ski lark.
It looks smaller than the snow pony, but the setup is the same with that mono leaf.
Yeah, steering wheel right down.
Yeah. And I was hoping that Midge would have noticed this. There's a Polaris with an independent
Polaris with the IFS
suspension.
front end under.
Yeah, I saw that too.
A little Colt.
Where the heck was that? Did I miss that? Oh, right there.
It looks like
that go-kart.
Colt.
Right there.
Right there. 1975 Polaris Colt with an IFS on the front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't see that every day.
That's almost like cheating.
No.
Yeah.
So who was that go-kart made by?
Polaris.
Oh, Polaris.
Oh, does that say Polaris on that go-kart?
It does.
No kidding. And there was another Polaris too. It looked like a racing Polaris.
There's
near
a
the
71 TNT, just like the sled that starts your show every week.
Yes. And then there's this one.
This one here. That's a nice looking sled.
And where is that TNT now?
There's also a TNT with a push bar in the front, and everybody says that's not factory.
Right there.
Well, I can remember my dad having one. Right there. And I don't remember my dad ever making it. It came when he bought it like that.
Nice. That'll bust through some brush.
Yep.
Nice. Nice cats there.
I love the
Like
looks
that
of those manta ray style cats. The cabs look like a manta ray sort of.
Oh, the flat looking? Yes, low and flat.
Yeah, I love those. Those are great looking sleds.
That's beautiful. Yes, that's hot.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. Well, so
that
before before I pull this away, any more comments on what we've been looking at here?
Looked like it was a great show.
Oh,
it
nice
really
show.
was.
Too bad it rained.
The weather did not dampen anybody's spirit.
No.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's good they showed up.
And we've got another clip. And if you're just joining us, we're here with Eric with the Benedeem YouTube channel. We're looking at videos from his YouTube channel tonight. This is from the 20th annual Vintage Snowmobile Club of America show that was out in Dunkirk in June. And he got some footage over there. So let's roll that footage. And then we'll take a look on the other side, or we'll react to it on the other side.
Hey everybody, it is Sunday morning, the last day of the national show. It's pretty cool. They let me come in. It's about 7 o'clock. They let me come in a little early to film all the sleds and do my walk around video so I don't have to work the crowds. all I can say is this has just been an amazing event. Hats off to everyone who was involved with putting this on. Everyone who made the trip with their sleds. I know it's not easy. I only brought 2. There's people that brought 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. It's incredible. So, I'm just doing my walk around. I really hope I get all the sleds. There's a lot to see here. There's a lot to video. But, one more time, hats off to everyone that made this possible, especially the people who put countless hours into planning this event. They did a great job. So I hope you enjoy the videos. I'm going to have a kind of a weekend in the life, kind of document the experience, and you'll get to hear me talk a little bit about some sleds I found interesting, mostly Skidoo, sorry, but that's just the way it is. And then later will be the full walk around. You get to see all the sleds that are here. There's over 500, I heard 530, 550. Well, it's a lot. So thanks for sticking with the video, and please consider liking the video. It helps out a ton. You have no idea. And then, if you like what you see, please subscribe to my channel and comment your favorite sled, in general, or that you saw at the show, or, comment anything. I just appreciate everything. So thank you.
Yeah, so
What
good
a great
times right
lineup
there.
of Massey Fergusons.
Yeah.
That was my favorite display. by far.
Wow, what a display for that. Boy, that was
There
neat.
was more sleds on the other side, on the back side of those two that were Massey Ferguson too.
I
So
gotta
with
tell
that-
you. Yeah, go ahead, Rob.
Would that been one person's collection, those Massey Fergusons? Same as the Skidoo. You had 62, 65, 60. Looked like it
Yeah.
might have been just one person's collection.
I know the
Yeah.
Skidoos were one
Yeah,
person's. I
was
think the
my
Masseys
thought.
were probably one person's too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I got to tell you, you know, I judged the 2016 national show and it was here in Lancaster, and it's the toughest job in the world. Those things are so meticulously restored. It's so tough to pick one. It's just incredible to have to judge one of those shows.
Yes. And Rob, anything to add to that?
That was a big collection in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was impressive. That was my favorite display of the whole. You know, even more than any of the Skidoo
I
collections.
think mine too. Yeah.
Massey Ferguson?
I collect the Massey Ferguson garden tractor, so I'd like to have a ski whiz someday.
Yeah.
But
They're heavy sled, but man, those things there just sparkle.
yeah,
What a
There was a
got-
guy. Go ahead.
they got the sign up there, and then on that table they have some, you know, some stuff like they have some model like tractors and just stuff to go along with the Massey Ferguson theme. And
He had
Yeah.
whoever has that collection had to go up for the best display.
Yeah.
I would.
I don't think they did actually. I don't remember.
They didn't have a best display.
I don't remember if they did or not, to be honest with you. But I don't remember that Massey Ferguson collection won. The problem was there were so many good displays like that.
Oh, yeah.
Skidoo collection
Oh, yeah.
was good. There was one guy who had I swear he had 20 Yamahas. Like he filled up a whole barn. The show was split in 5 or 6 different buildings.
Yeah.
And I mean, this one guy had the whole building full of just Yamahas.
Yeah, I see in the background there's 5 or 6 Yamahas, and they're all up on top of a chrome frame holding them
Yeah.
up.
That display was incredible too, and I think those
Yeah.
were all registered in the youth class. I think the same kid won every trophy for it was a pair of brothers. They won every trophy in the youth class because they were the only ones.
Yeah.
But there was so many good displays. It would have been hard to pick a best display.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I got to say, I love these cats. 72 to 75 is my sweet spot,
Yeah.
just because of the memories. And this kitty
Right.
cat with the pointed bumper, I don't think the kitty cats came with a bumper, but somebody put this on there and kind of made a pointy bumper that almost looks like this bumper on this 73 or 74 right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool to see. No, and I had a
Clever.
comment I wanted to make on the Massey Fergusons. There's a guy that I think he's based out of Vermont. I think his name is Matt Trask. He shows up at the Washington show sometimes. He's got a couple of ski whizzes, and one of them he did a resto mod with. He extended the tunnel and put a long track on it. I think even with some deeper paddles, not 2-inch or anything, but deeper paddles than a stock track would be. And that's quite a sled. I've got a video of that
Probably
somewhere.
did not want to get it stuck, so he had to. He did.
Yeah.
Actually, so the Massey's was my favorite display, but my favorite part of that whole show is there were 5 Skidoo Alpines there.
5, yeah.
They actually had a utility class, which was amazing.
Yeah, nice.
But
Yeah.
there's one of them right there. A
Yeah.
Super Alpine
Yeah.
with 370 opposed. In the
They-
building
they
I
were
was in,
those were the first trail drag sleds.
yeah,
You know, they didn't have piston bullies and tuckers back then. You know, that's
I
what they
remember
used
those.
to drag the trails with right there.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
the building that I was in, there was 2. There was 3. There was a 1970 Invader, which we have one of those, and then there was a 63, which it was the RD8 before it was called the Alpine, and then there was a 64 directly across from it, which I thought was ironic that there was 2 early ones owned by different people and they ended up being right in front of each other. But they should have won best of show as far as I'm concerned because they were just amazing. and you
Yeah.
never see those ever.
Yeah,
No. Yeah.
that's cool.
But I might be
makes
slightly
it fun.
biased.
Sure. And then we had some comments. A couple of people were talking about saying there's going to be a show in Ravenna, New York, this coming Saturday. And I think Stacy and Art Fosler were talking about it too. I think it's called the Oak Hill / Durham Vintage Sled Show in Ravenna, New York, this Saturday. So if anyone viewing this is within driving distance of that, please partake of that.
Yeah,
And,
that's a great show, and I believe it's all on pavement.
Yeah, nice.
So
Nice.
Yeah.
So I cannot believe how fast this hour has flown by. It's just unbelievable. But we had a great time, and I have to confess, we didn't look at all the clips we wanted to, but that's a perfect excuse to bring Eric on again a little later in the season to look
Absolutely.
at more clips.
Yeah.
Because if you like what you were looking at tonight, there's a whole lot more at the Benedeem YouTube channel, as he said as he clicked the graphic.
So
if you
Eric, is that your snowmobile?
yeah, that's my 72 440.
Oh yeah, that's what I figured. You got a
And-
skidoo hat on, you got a skidoo in the background. I figured that must be your snowmobile.
he's
So
a Skidoo guy for sure.
My little intro there with the the black background and the the sled running. That's that same picture that I
Yep.
modified a little bit, and the sound is from a 72 640 that's is at the shows, and that sled that I took that audio from is my favorite sled probably that I don't own, because it's a sharp sled.
Nice.
But
And one last
good
comment I
quality
have to make.
videos tonight, Eric.
what
Go
was
ahead,
that?
Mitch.
Very nice. I said it. He sent us some really nice videos.
Oh, I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Yeah,
And I have to also thank Eric too. He and I have been collaborating here the last couple of years because we're both kind of in this same space. And you hear me mention a lot on this podcast that we simulcast out to 8 different places across Facebook and YouTube. Well, his Benedeem YouTube channel is one of the places where we simulcast this podcast, and that has been a big win for both Eric and I. So I thank you for that, Eric. I believe that's been as big a win for you as it has been for me.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Yeah, and we're just getting started too. So yeah. And that's the nice thing about this vintage snowmobile community is everyone's friends and everyone collaborates. It's not competitive at all, and it's the more the all contributing to a greater cause. And here we go. Eric's dad Ben is saying a great show, gentlemen. Appreciate that. Dave Trim says great show. Good job on those videos, Eric. Yeah, we get a lot of nice comments in here for you, Eric. Oh, nice seeing Eric again. Good show. And Rick Shad says, great show. Always enjoy the Benedeem videos, for sure. And we're looking forward to scheduling something with Rich Shad here in the not too distant future. He's got some cool stuff that he wants to show us. He's a big Polaris guy. He collects Polarises, and he also has some old 8mm footage he's working on getting digitized. So we're going to air that here once he's got that going. Don't forget to wax my sled this Saturday, Eric, your father says.
Yeah, I'm not going to that show. He doesn't know that, apparently. But
Nice.
yeah, this time of year is great because it's really going to start ramping up with the shows and hopefully some riding footage. I'm kind of taking a little detour with doing some snowblower content. I kind of got into the vintage snowblowers, but really the main focus is going to remain the snowmobiles, and I look forward to a lot of riding this winter. I hope. We got too much snow last winter. You couldn't really get out and ride, as crazy as that sounds. Just busy shoveling roofs and clearing snow, but just the trails are still wrecked. We got to have a trail day to get all the trees cleaned up. But I look forward to this winter a lot.
Nice. And Midge, final comments before we wrap?
Yeah, I think it was a great show tonight, and appreciate Eric coming on, one thing about the grease that Rob was talking about. When I was working for the Ford garage, the little Ford Fiesta wheel bearings on the back, on the rear, used to burn out. They were tiny little things. It was a small car anyway. The races were plastic, and the races, they'd heat up, and the plastic would melt out of them, and you'd go to pull it apart, and all the bearings would fall on the floor. And so we started using Amsoil grease. Never saw him again.
Ah,
Never got
That
him back
solved it.
again. It's the best
Nice.
grease in the world, guys.
nice. And if you ever seen that movie Grease, the song Grease, they say Grease is the word.
Yeah,
So Grease is the
Yeah.
word.
that's right. Yeah.
And
Sponsored by Amsoil.
exactly. And I wonder if they put the Amsoil grease in their hair too. You know, the 50s, the greasers
That was Pro Cream.
for better hold. And Rob, final comment?
Great show on, and Eric, I love your videos.
Appreciate that, Rob.
Cool deal. Well, yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for my co-host and for Eric for being here, and for our viewers. And be sure to tune in next week. We're going to go deep into the second hour because it's our 100th episode next week. And people have been messaging me with some of their favorite moments from the podcast over the last 5.5 years. And I've been able to find most of the clips they were asking about. I know Midge was asking about clips. Rob was asking about clips, and I've got favorite clips of my own. So we've got just a boatload of fun clips from through the years we're going to be looking at next week.
And next year, we're going to do blooper ones.
Yes, there's plenty of those too. So yes, please join us next week for the 100th episode. It's going to be a blast. And with that,
Awesome.
Good evening, everyone, and we give our last word to Amsoil.
Great show.
Thanks, guys.
Hello, everyone. This is Rob and Mike. How you doing today, Rob?
I'm doing good. Mike, yourself?
Very well. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. Now, today we're going to be talking about Amsoil, and in a few moments, we're going to show you how you can get the deepest discounts, free shipping, and free gifts when you order your Amsoil products through us. But first, I'm going to ask Rob to give you a quick description of what Amsoil is and why you should consider using Amsoil products in your motorized vehicles.
Thanks, Mike. Amsoil is 100% synthetic oil. Everybody uses Amsoil for a different reason. Some people like the benefits that Amsoil is warranted for 25,000 miles or 1 year. The reason we can do that is because Amsoil doesn't oxidize. It doesn't form the usual carbons, gums, sludges like petroleum oils do. That's why we can keep it in the engines longer. Petroleum oils never do wear out. They oxidize themselves. That's why they have to be changed at 3,000 kilometers. And Amsoil likes the benefit that you only have to change the oil once a year. That saves some money. Some of the people like the benefit of Amsoil is it's a slipperier type lube. By having a slipperier type lube, it cuts down friction and drag. By less friction and drag, engines run 20 to 50 degrees cooler, better gas mileage. Now, Amsoil says 25% more protection than the industry requires is in the Amsoil bottles. My average customer gets about 10% increase in gas mileage. That's a big savings.
Yeah.
And by cutting down friction and drag, for every 10 degrees you cut down the friction and drag, doubles the life of the engine. So by having the engine run cooler, it makes it last longer. Some people like the benefit of the range of the Amsoil. Amsoil's flash point is 425 degrees, and it pours at 50 below zero.
Wow.
If you ever tried petroleum oil when it's 10 below, it turns to honey. And in the summertime, petroleum oil thins out, and once it thins out, that's when it starts breaking down. So Amsoil's an all-season oil, can give you better gas mileage, longer engine life, less maintenance. It ends up being cheaper over a year's time running Amsoil than it is petroleum oils.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And Amsoil is available for pretty much any motorized vehicle, anything from lawn equipment, cars, trucks, boats, ATVs, motorcycles, snowmobiles.
Yep. And a lot of people phone me up and say, well, what's the benefit of our gear lube? Exactly what I told you about the engine oil. It pours in cold weather, it runs cooler, makes the equipment last longer. And they say, well, what's the benefit of the small engine? Same thing. Makes the engine run cooler, last longer, better performance. So it saves on all the applications that Amsoil has available.
Wonderful, wonderful. So yeah, let's talk now. Hopefully this has convinced people to think about maybe joining us in the Amsoil experience. Let's talk about some of the discounts and free shipping and how that all happens. I'm going to pop a graphic on the screen. And yeah, by all means, if you want to talk people through how this preferred customer program works.
Amsoil has a number of different programs. One of our main ones is a catalog customer, where somebody can order directly out of our catalog. If they order out of the catalog, they order $100 worth, Amsoil will ship it right to their house. But our best program is our preferred customer. For only $10 for 6 months, you become a preferred customer, you save 25% on all the product. You order $100 worth, they're going to give you free shipping. You don't have to order a whole case. You can mix and match. Say you want 4 bottles of small engine, 7 bottles of 5W30, and a couple of gear loops. You can mix and match. You can order 1 bottle at a time if you want. There's no minimums, no maximums. By being a preferred customer, you save over 25% on all the products you're going to buy. Amsoil sends you extra gifts, a $5 gift certificate on your birthday, $5 when you renew your account, and stuff like that. So it's a good way to save on some of the products you want to buy.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, it's an incredible value, and this is the deepest level of discount that anyone can get when ordering AMSOIL. Is that correct?
It is. It is.
Wonderful, wonderful. So let's take people through the step-by-step experience of placing an AMSOIL order. Then that would include signing up for the preferred customer discount, or sorry, preferred customer program, so they can receive those deepest levels of discount. So let's go to the website. This is what the website's going to look like. These are some screenshots. Once you go to amsoil.com, there's a link in the description, or you can just type that into a browser, amsoil.com. This is the page you land on. At the upper corner of the page there, you see how I've circled in red. That is the link to click, the Join Now link. That will take you to the Preferred Customer Program page, where you can take advantage of all these discounts and free shipping and everything that we've just been talking about. This is what that page looks like. In the lower right, you're going to click Join Now. This will pop up. You select the duration you'd like, whether it's 6 months or 12 months, and click Add to Cart. Now, once this pop-up goes away, you'll be back on the main page. And the upper left, you'll see where I've got that red arrow. It says Shop. Now you can start shopping for products, and on your very first order, you're going to get these discounts and the free shipping as long as it's over $100. You'll get all of these benefits right away. So once you click Shop, it's going to take you to the product page. There's different types of oils, lubricants, so on and so forth. For the benefit of this exercise we're doing now, I'm just going to click motor oil. It shows different types of motor oil. Let's click gasoline. Now this takes us to an item. It's their synthetic motor oil. And you can see the item there, and there's choices for different viscosities. But take a look at the price. Let's take a closer look. Let's zoom in. But if you've joined the preferred customer program first, you're going to automatically get the deepest levels of discount. That's what we're looking at here. You're saving $3.80 on that quart of oil. Instead of paying $16.29, you're now paying $12.49 for that quart of oil. That is the deepest level of discount you can possibly get. And then you just add the quantity that you'd like. You select any other items that you're thinking about, add them to the cart. And once you click Add to Cart for the final time, you're going to see this come up at the top of the screen. It's going to show your items and your the total that you're at so far. Pardon me. And then you just click View Cart in the upper right, and that'll take you to your cart. Take a close look here at the upper right. That blue box shows that you're getting free shipping. You're eligible for free shipping on this order because it's over $100. That little yellow box shows that you've got the preferred customer membership on your order that gives you the deepest levels of discounts for the next 6 to 12 months. And then below that, you've got the items that have been selected. For the exercise here, I selected 9 quarts of the signature series, but that brings us up over $100 for the free shipping. We're saving $34.20. And if you're ready to finish, you click Checkout Now, and that takes you to this screen here. If you haven't signed up with an AMSOIL account at this point, just click in the lower right to create an account, create a new account. It's going to ask you for some basic information, name and those types of things. Now let's take a closer look. You'll see this gray shaded box. This is a very important box. This is going to ask you if someone has referred you to AMSOIL. And if so, please enter my name. My name is Mike LaPierre. It's spelled right there on the screen for the correct spelling. And also the referral number, 304-555-94. That's how you make sure that Rob and I get credit for this. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, I have signed up for AMSOIL under Rob. So when you order using this referral number, Rob and I both benefit. So if you enjoy these podcasts that we're doing, this is a wonderful way to support the podcast, because when you order using this referral number, Rob and I both benefit. And the commissions I make go directly toward offsetting the cost of doing these podcasts. So I thank you in advance for that, for using my referral number. I very much appreciate it. And once you've done that, you just go into the next screen to enter your payment information, and you're done. Now, once you've placed your order that's over $100, and that order includes your AMSOIL Preferred Customer Program, you are now eligible to get a free DVD from myself. Now, this is going to be either a muscle car DVD or a vintage snowmobile DVD. Use the email address on the screen, wkspodcasts@gmail.com. Send me an email. Let me know which DVD you would like me to send you, the muscle car or the vintage snowmobile DVD, and I'll get that right out to you. As you're typing in that email, in the subject line, be sure and type in capital letters, free DVD requests, so it stands out as I'm checking my email, and we'll get that right out to you. So I guess the last thing, Rob, that we wanted to talk about is if someone is considering AMSOIL as a business opportunity.
Yes. If anybody has a retail or a commercial account and they would like to buy directly from AMSOIL, just send Mike a line. He'll show you how to set up, and you can buy directly from AMSOIL. But if you are interested in starting your own part-time business, a part-time business that can grow into a full-time income, Mike and I will show you the AMSOIL marketing plan. AMSOIL has a large selection of products that cover almost every application. So it doesn't matter if you're into snowmobile, boating, or ATVing, or hot rods. We have an oil for every application. It's a fun type business that's I really enjoy doing. Where else can I go and have fun and make money doing it? And Mike and I are here to help you all the way along. If you need any help on how to promote or to find new accounts, we're here to help you.
For sure. So when you sign up under that number, this 304-555-94, you're getting Rob and I as a team. Now, Rob has been doing AMSOIL for 40 years. Can you believe that? 40 years. So he knows every aspect of this business, and he knows all of the ins and outs of the products. So he'll be able to help you with any kind of product questions or any kind of questions to show you the different business models that you can do with AMSOIL. And then the other thing that you get when you sign up under me is I've got a strong background in social media. So if you need some coaching on how to generate AMSOIL leads using Facebook and YouTube, I'm happy to coach you with that when you sign up under Rob and I. You get both of us as a team to help you, to coach you, to support you, whatever you need to get you off and running with this business and having fun with it. Like Rob said, it's an enormous amount of fun. If you're like Rob and I and you enjoy going to any kind of boat shows, car shows, motorcycle shows, snowmobile shows, anything with a motor, you like going to those shows, those events, those races, this is a great way to turn that into a income opportunity for you.
Yes. And just by wearing my AMSOIL hat at one of these events, people come up and ask me about AMSOIL.
Wonderful.
People don't know where to buy it, and I'm there to help them, show them where they can buy the product.
Perfect. Well, cool. Well, this is great. Any final thoughts, Rob, before we wrap it up?
AMSOIL is a fun business. AMSOIL's been around since 1968. It was the first synthetic oil to be AI approved.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And that's very early in the game too, isn't it?
Yes.
For sure. Well, good. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for viewing. Hopefully, we've gotten you excited as we are about the AMSOIL products. We'd love it if you could join us either as someone who uses the AMSOIL products or to join the AMSOIL team as a business opportunity. And we thank you so much for viewing. Have a great day.
You have a good day.